other night about 1 in the morning, and I turned the TV because I didn't want to get up. And as I was turning the dial, I hit BET. And one of our sisters had her back to the camera, and she was wearing a thong. And my hand froze on the dial. And that sister was doing something with her gluteus maximus that I had never before in my life seen no motion like that. Did you know I could not turn that dial? HOODX, nigga. Yeah. Okay. It's HOODX, my nigga. Hey, been the block one time. Let's hit the liquor store. You hit up the weed spot. I'm gone. They done finally made a nigga rich. Foreign cars, foreign money, nigga, foreign bitch. I'm gone. You might just catch me in another life. I'm pimping. You might just catch me with another wife. She low. You might have seen her in the interviews. Gone off of Molly, spilling Ruby on her shoes. This is HOODX revolution if you be confused. We getting money, stacking chips like we Mr. Scrooge. It's 6 points in my style, but we not the Jews. Plus I'm plugged with the Vice Lords too. I know them dudes. Fuck it. Bitch, I'm going back to hustling. I ain't stopping for no bitches. I ain't talking to no fuckers, nigga. Fuck it. I'm going back to spitting crack. Black Jordans, black Jabos, and black starter caps. We even pulling out the all black Cadillacs. Bench pressing, sit-ups, and jumping jacks. Yeah, I told you, my nigga. This the one right here, baby. It's on. Follow my footsteps one time. This is HOODX. It's on. You surrounded by the diplomatic HOODX. God body getting money automatic. You never seen a nigga act so Asiatic. They was talking when I told them I was coming back. And they was talking when I told them I'm a flip a K. I flipped another one and asked, what you wanna say? I flipped another one, he said he need a couple days. I took that money to the club and flipped a couple trays. I was military trained, now I'm going in. My daddy told me if you're gonna play, you better win.
So we're gonna kick to you the 4 elements, and part of our new segment of the visual and the actual read along. And this is from a link based off the 4 elements of the Zodiac. I know a lot of y'all people like the Zodiac, but you got anything you want to add on?
This is still our first broadcast doing like this, so please be patient with us.
Right.
I like this, and this is a first time doing it, so hopefully if this is your first time tuning in, you'll be back to come visit us. And this is going to be the first of a bunch of series we hopefully going to be doing, and break down the metaphysics, the spiritual, the unseen, machine, the unseen, and we going to get it cracking, and sign up for Godspeed, sign up for HOODX. That's about it. It's all on you now.
All right, well, first let me speculate that this is all based off the lower nature, and we can give you the gifts of the higher nature of each Zodiac. You know, this is based off if you locked into that realm, if you're not aware of your lower or second density tendencies. You know what I'm saying? If you're not aware of what drives you, what moves you, and able to be aware of it, perceive it, and control it instead of it controlling you. So this is what these are based off of. A lot of people might take this offensive. So what? But it's true. So we're going to give it, we're going to just give it to you, raw. Because we in the time of like coming out of the Pisces age of what I call no accountability. You know what I'm saying? So people do shit. Nobody never correct you.
All they ask out on their bullshit.
Right. So now you got shit like the city of Chirac, 3, 4, 7, 8 murders a day. You know what I'm saying? It's because of the way they was raised. Who told these ladies, But anyway, make a long story short, this is Zodiac sound. Let's do this. Pull up. We're gonna read from the first chamber though. We're gonna start off with the first chamber. I'm gonna read. Just pull it up on the screen.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get the lid in there. Okay. 1 second.
Take your time, but like we say, this is based off studies and shit we've been doing for a while. So now we can shed a lid of the four elements, and it's when we go into the nature of each one of them: air, fire, earth, water. You know what I'm saying? And for those who don't know, a lot of people say, "Fuck the Zodiac, that's just your perspective, this, that, and the other." But really, when you know it, sometimes like me and Blah say, we don't even want to know your sign because it takes the fun out of getting to know you. You know what I'm saying? But here we go. It's pulled up. All right, 4 elements. If y'all want to read along, if you can see, read along. We click on. That's just your perspective. Okay, so 4 elements. Chamber 1, fire. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Those who get shit cracked. They are the most susceptible to the ego. Those who do not like being upstaged or to come in second. They are naturally competitive. They have mastered the human element as far as the ego, social magnetism, and being the center of attention. It is very difficult for them to immerse themselves in spirituality because there is never a full separation of the ego from the spirit. It is a lot harder for them to let go of the ego because they feel that it's the only thing that they truly have full control over. The mainstreams depend on them to dictate and erupt chaos to others and be easily manipulated by fame, stardom, stroking the ego, and gossip. The lovers of control, warmth, and comfort. Man, hold on. So let's go back. I got a question. I got to bring this one up. Let's go back to chamber 1. Let's go take it up to when they say they are the most susceptible to the ego. How was it? Is that like that movie Revolver? You know what I'm saying? Deal with me on that. What do you mean? Like they're most susceptible to the ego. What are you talking about?
Like the way
Instagram? Like they on Instagram? Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Taking pictures and Snapchat and all that type of shit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so that's fire sign world, huh?
Hell yeah, that's where they come from, you know what I'm saying? But also not only that, like barbecues, you know what I'm saying? Like being at a party somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? And then what if you like, put on this character, like this caricature version of it. Like fire signs, like they don't fit the stereotype. Basically, like if it's a white woman, like she's gonna be a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a nigga, it's gonna be like a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a Chinese dude, he's gonna be a Chinese dude. Like they kind of fit the stereotype a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like
they more congruent to the character, to whatever character they be, or what do you mean? Like they more congruent to their character that they portray. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like there's a scene in the Barack movie that came out with Michelle Obama. Where she tell him, she said, "Man, you like a stereo." She's like, he asked, he was like, when it was, this was basically about when they had first met.
Hold on, let's back it up then. Like you said, Michelle Obama, what sign is she? Like slow down a little bit.
She's the Earth.
Okay, so she Earth. So we dealing with an Earth sign, and then we dealing with Barack is fire, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's begin somewhere. Talk to me. So
he fire. She told him at one point in the movie, she told him, she was like, "Man, like you kind of like JJ from Good Times, nigga, like you fit a stereotype." She was like, "Nigga, you fit the stereotype, basically." She told that nigga.
JJ from Good.
You know what I'm saying? And it was why I just had a conversation with somebody who would point that out to me. They was like, "Man, fire signs, they're gonna fit whatever stereotype they look like." Like, you know what I'm saying? So when she said that shit kind of fucked me up because I was like, damn, he's like Barack, he kind of like a jive talking, slick talking ass nigga type shit, you know, like. But this is before he was in the office, you know what I'm saying? He was still smoking squares, he was still on the street, like, you know what I'm saying?
I put something in there for you. Okay, right. He was still smoking squares, so he was still had that fire in him. He still kind of wanted to kick it. You know, I was seeing the movie. He was somebody. He wanted to go to the show. He wanted to do a lot of this and that. The Earth was like, no, I ain't with that.
She didn't want to right. She wasn't buying none of that shit. She was like, nigga, I ain't going. Like, nah, like this we going. They went on a date. They was going to like a function or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was, you know, he was supposed to be giving a speech, and she wasn't going. She was like, man, like, nah, nigga, I see what you like. You know, he was trying to get on a date, and she was telling him like, this is not a date. This is you know what I'm saying, a function we going to. I ain't with all that. Hey, that picture for whatever reason ain't showing up.
So he's trying to turn even the function. He's trying to turn it into some kicking and shit. So he just can't.
Let's go get some drinks. Let's go. He said because at the time, Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee. Do the Right Thing was playing.
So he's not aware that this is in him.
Drink.
And by her being Earth, she kind of want to take it back to the actual task at hand. Like, let's
she's like, nah, I know that. And she told him, she was like, nigga, you fit the stereotype. She was the one that got Barack in the White House, basically, long story short. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was still on that shit. Man, I'm trying to get your link up, but it just ain't working with me.
Oh, okay, let's try another one. Okay, so okay, well, they say, those who not like being, go ahead.
Barack is a Leo.
Okay, he a Leo, so he do like to party. He do like to kick it, you know.
He like to get it cracking, like, you know, then you look at him as the president, he like the party president, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, okay, he can, that's in his blood.
Right, so like, you know, he talks slick, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, like, Firestone, they kind of do shit at a leisure, like, it ain't no sense of urgency with them. Like, that's what they try to keep everything cool. Okay, everything cool.
Oh, so you mean that's why it take us so long to speak about the black man being killed and everything like that? He's doing it at a leisure, huh? So he ain't no urgency on stopping these police from killing us. That's what you're saying? Like, if it was an earth sign, they'd have got to the point. They'd have stopped this immediately. But he taking a long ass time. I mean, he's sitting way back. Where would he eventually get some fire in his ass and help us, or no?
No, he's trying to get the fuck out of there.
No, he's trying to get the fuck out. He ready to kick. He's just trying to
change the image, man. It's like they call it Wizard of Oz, man. Like, that's the one you really should have brought up for the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's image, like the Wizard of Oz there to do behind the curtain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you remember the scene, let's play the scene from Wizard of Oz.
You got it?
I'm gonna bring it up. When they go, because that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the fire type. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to tag some people in there.
Hold on, Wiz. I got you. I'm trying to do this shit too. All right, I got something for you, a little treat for you. So you saying, okay, the man behind the curtain.
Right, I'm gonna bring it up for a second. Let's bring that up. Because like they went to see the Wizard of Oz, and
so they make it bigger. He kind of make it bigger than life, like bigger than what it really is. People will fall for this. People kind of look back. But by him being a fight sign for the president, shit, what we go wrong with? I mean, how do that fit into the nature if we had another, like we had an Earth president? Like I said, though, we probably get a lot more dig. There'd probably be no games. You know what I'm saying? He look like he do want to go to the out south to the chicken store, chicken spot. He like to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I knew that was a fight. That's that fire shit. That's that fire shit. They stay on it.
Hold on, I'm trying to bring this up right now. Listen. Pay no attention. The man behind the curtain. Work with me. It's our first show.
Yeah, work with my brother.
Let's see. I'm trying to get it up here. Okay, they got a commercial playing now.
Take your time.
Let's go. Let's see.
I'm still.
Okay, here we go. Cut. I got it.
What's going on here?
Well, hold on.
By the sign. Right.
Well, that's what you see when you. He say, I'm not a bad man. I'm just a bad wizard. So what you saying? So like what you're dealing with is like somebody who want an image. Like it's okay. I'm trying to put this type of image out. You see what I'm saying? You don't necessarily. You know what I'm saying? He's using the smoke in the mirror, the smoke in the mirrors to distract and intimidate. You know what I'm saying? The Dorothy and all the other characters. You know what I'm saying? So like when you're dealing with a fire sign like that, like you dealing with Barack Obama, like a lot of people don't know Barack name really Barry. You're supposed to like growing up, people used to call him Barry. Like people do not call Barack Barack. You see what I'm saying? But like when he hears somebody call him the name Barack, like he go into like his wizard stance. You know what I'm saying? But like at the crib, like Barry, Barry, what's up, man? Like you know what I'm saying? Like he don't want nobody in the public to know that, like, you know what I'm saying, that they, you know, people be calling him Barry, like all the people is close to him. You see what I'm saying? So like it's the same thing. Like you go to work, you might have somebody who your boss, his name might be like Donald Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants you to call him Mr. Jones, but everybody else know him as Donald. You see what I'm saying? So like he trying to feed off of the image and like the
like Keith Chief. You know that ain't that nigga name, but that's if you call him by what's his real name?
I don't even know. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, with Jeffrey. What about Young Thug? It seems like it's a reverse there because he just talking about, you know, his name Jeffrey. He wants somebody to call him Young Thug instead of Jeffrey. That's what you're saying. Like if you say Jeffrey, you might feel like his mama calling him.
Yeah, it's like, but you know when you everybody got their own little alter ego. You know what I'm saying, that they call themselves. You know what I'm saying, especially like in rap. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at Barack Obama, like that's his real name. You know what I'm saying? So like but it's a title. Like you know what I'm saying? Like some people might know you by like this name, that name, stuff like that. Like,
right, but they made it into a title. But he lives this way. He did it with that title.
Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? They say who marries Beyonce? They're like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? No, Jay-Z ain't his name Sean Carter. You know what I'm saying? But like in your mind, you see name Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna blend that image with their real name. You know what I'm saying? To the point where like they don't want you to see him as like Sean Carter. It's like no, Jay-Z. You know, as far as the public is concerned, you know what I'm saying? This is how you gonna dress me. This is what you're dealing with five times. That's just say this is acceptable to the ego.
Let me ask you this.
They're gonna try to blend it up.
Well, let me ask you this. What they say when they say it is very difficult for them to immerse themselves in spirituality because there is never a full separation of the ego from the spirit. So basically what they're saying is it's like the ego and the spirit is blended up. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly. That's what you see when you see Jay-Z. You see like there's no separation between Jay-Z and Sean Carter. Like as far as you know what I'm saying, as far as the public is concerned, but that's really himself. That's what he's doing to himself. You see what I'm saying? So when you see, you know, like a lot of times you see Nicki Minaj saying shit, there's no separation between, you know what I'm saying, Nicki Minaj and her true self. Like they blend it up so much, but they get lost in it. You see what I'm saying? Fire sign. You see what I'm saying? Hulk Hogan. Perfect example, Hulk Hogan. You You know what I'm saying? Like the image gets so blended up into his true self where it's like it's hard to separate. You see what I'm saying? Like him from his true self. You see what I'm saying? Until you see him getting a divorce with his wife and all that other type of shit. You see what I'm saying? He's like, damn, like hold on, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So when the egos don't line up to their reality, is that kind of like a depression form? Like if that's like the worst of the
yeah, that's in tarot cards, it's called the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is like now you got to walk around with this ego. You see what I'm saying? Like Hulk Hogan got
Ten of Wands.
Yeah, Ten of Wands. Like Hulk Hogan got busted on tape talking about you know what I'm saying? Talking about black people. I think he said niggas and some shit while he was having sex with his daughter's friend type shit. You see what I'm saying? So like he got busted on TV saying this. You see what I'm saying? So like he had to walk around with that. Like he's like, okay, here, hold this hell, nigga. Yeah, nigga, yeah, you gonna say talking shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Busted. You see what I'm saying? So like now you gotta walk around here. The biggest, like they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You see what I'm saying? That's how it is when you start dealing with fire signs. It's like, yeah, you okay for the greatest champion, wrestling champion, now you say champion. You see what I'm saying? But here you got busted on tape. You see what I'm saying? Talking about niggas and shit like this while you fucking your daughter's friend. You see what I'm saying?
I will read this.
That's the man behind the curtain. That's the nigga behind the curtain. You know what I'm saying? That when you go back to the window of the eyes, they're like, man, I don't want you to see the nigga behind the curtain. You see what I'm saying?
I'll put something in there for you. Put that up there so we can see how it looks. Put that up there. I want to see what you explain this to me.
Okay, yeah, this is okay. This is 10-1. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's what you're looking at. It's funny you threw this in here real quick. Right, okay, let's bring this up.
I want to visually see this 10 of Wands you're talking about.
This is what you're looking at. Now it's a delay on your end, but like, this is a 10 of Wands. Now you see him with his head down, walking with all these wands carrying him. You see what I'm saying? And he's like,
right.
He's stuck with him. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now you hit the last card in this deck. And he's like, man, you done went through all of these chambers to get all of this ego, all these things, and now you got to walk around with it and you stuck with it. You see what I'm saying? And that's Hulk Hogan. That's a lot of fire signs. Like you can see Jay-Z getting old, stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to see, you don't want to see that spirit go, oh, you look at Nicki Minaj, the same thing. You look at a lot of stars in Hollywood as they grow old and you know, they get worse. That's their worst nightmare. They trying to hold on to that glory. You know what I'm saying?
So that's like what they call a cougar. That's when you see the mama in the club still kicking it, and she about, 60, 55, maybe even 47, 40, 45 in there kicking it.
Yeah, she gonna be a Sagittarius, so she gonna be a Leo. 9 times out of 10. She might fuck around be an Aries too, though. But a lot of times,
what the Aries do? What the Aries be on?
The Aries shit, that's like a man stuck in a woman's body. You know what I'm saying? Like they peak game. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of them be like alcoholics or like drug addicts or shit like that, but not necessarily alcoholics or drugs. They just be like addicts type shit. Like they be like sports addicts or like overly competitive type shit. Like mania. That's what I was looking for. They be like manic. They like manic. Like when they be competitive when they get there. Like that chick. What's that chick name, man? On 90210. The chick on 902. She fucked up the whole show. She the one that fucked up all out. I think her name is Shannon Doherty or some shit like that. That bitch you follow that bitch career. That's a chick who was like straight airy shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a super competitive chick for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Who talk shit about their man, they talk shit about everybody type shit.
And that's why the Aries got the ram here, because they're supposed to be like thinking they see above everybody, or they,
Nah, but it's like a ram. You see the two rams like bashing heads together and shit. You see what I'm saying? Like that's that shit. Like they want to butt heads with a motherfucker. They want to compete.
Okay.
Like
I got that. Are you okay? And what's that
card? It's called the 5 of Wands. Like that's one you should bring up. If you can bring up the 5 of Wands, that's one you should really, because like when you dealing with fire signs, like you gotta understand that like these people that talk shit, but they ain't trying to hurt you. Like you know what I'm saying? They wanna it's like when you watching wrestling, like you just watch this dude body slam the shit out of a motherfucker, but he ain't really trying to hurt him per se. It's just for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So like they competitive, they wanna hurt you. They wanna hurt you, but they don't want to.
You said 5 of Wands, right?
Yeah, I was just bringing the ram. You brought to see about the ram hands up, because like that's what you're dealing with. It's like when you see two rams butting heads, they ain't trying to kill each other. They just ran their heads. They just competing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to knock one of them over. Like, I think I had a video of Busta Rhymes that did that. You know what I'm saying? He had butted heads with a ram, and the ram that fell over. You know what I'm saying? It was just more like a competition. He ain't really trying to kill him. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to kill him.
Yeah. So when you get the 5 of Wands, the Wands intro is the suit of the fire sign. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, I got it for you. It's there. It's there.
So
check it out.
The 10 of Wands, I don't see it in it, but the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Wands is it's in the same suit as the Wand. Right there. This is a whole different version. I ain't never seen this one before. This is a whole wow. Yeah, but they compete. You know what I'm saying? So like fire signs like sit down and watch the football game. You know what I'm saying? They're like watching, they
love that,
sports. Yeah, man, like with the grill going, the barbecue grill. Right. Like this card, this ain't the traditional card. This ain't the traditional picture, but it's still capturing the same essence, which is like they fighting, but they ain't trying to kill each other. They just, like fighting, you know what I'm saying? Like boxing, compete. So that's the type of shit you see a fire sign on.
So that's like shit talking, the competition talk. There's a lot of competition talking, like nigga.
But you stuck there. They don't know that this is in their make. They just acting like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't know why they like this.
Damn, so they sit around trying to top each other's last thing they said. Like, Joe, I got a car with I just, bought a car with 220 Dubs. I bought 40 cars with 30 rims, and it just keep going on and on and on like that.
Basically.
Okay, well, let me...
And they don't know why they're doing this. They're just naturally competitive like that.
All right, well, you still don't... So you say they are those who walk around in swimming pools. No, we moving ahead of ourselves.
You don't go to the water side, or you...
I got one more for this. I got one more. Easily manipulated by fame, stardom, stroking the ego, and gossip. The lovers of control, warmth, and comfort. Hit me off with that chapter, and then we can go into the water. What do that mean? Easily manipulated by fame, stardom, and stroking the ego. So a lot of these rappers and people you see are fire signs. Is Janet Jackson a fire sign?
Is who?
Janet Jackson. She Earth, ain't she?
She Earth.
Okay,
she Earth.
right.
But,
this judgment. Go ahead.
When you're looking at like the Wizard of Oz, you know what I'm saying? The way he wanted them to talk to him, he was like, when they asked him, he was like, man, you said if we don't get the broom, then you should say you were supposed to keep that promise. He was like, how dare you talk to me like that? Like that's how they kind of approach a lot of shit. Like if you know what I'm saying, if you don't know how to play the game, like, you know what I'm saying, that's when they get ticked type shit. Like if you don't know how to compete, if you don't know how to talk shit, if you don't know how to if you don't know how to fit the stereotype, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to fit the stereotype, you know what I'm saying, that's when they get kind of pissed. It's like, you can't compete. So, like, if you know how to kind of stroke their ego a little bit and say, oh, man, imagine yourself talking to Jay-Z, you would just kind of find yourself kind of stroking his ego a little bit. Like, hey, man, you really good on that song. I love it. I was good. This is like, they love that shit.
So that shit never get old to them.
That shit never get old. Especially like if you're in a bar with some loud music playing in the background, you're like, oh, man, you look so nice. You look so nice. You look some nice earrings. Your ass looks face to face. Whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your body's nice. Or, like, your hair's nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, they love that shit. You know, so they easily move by that shit. If you don't say that shit like that to them, they gonna kind of look at you like, motherfucker, didn't you notice my motherfucking hair? Don't you see how nice looking at him? And don't you know I'm the shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? How dare you not know that I'm not the shit type shit? You know what I'm saying? And they also, like, they love that warmth and comfort meaning, and like, they do shit at a leisure. It ain't no, what's the word? They don't like, urgency. Like, it ain't no sense of urgency. It ain't no sense of urgency. It's always like, man, okay, just cool out. Everything gonna be cool. Like,
we can kick it and do it. Let's kick it and do it. Like that. Always kick it and do it. Okay.
Like, they just trying to kick it. They ain't really trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you see what's in that talk to, right? You just start looking at periodically whenever you feel like it. Check out the last thing. And then I want to talk about Jay-Z.
Just remind me, because I got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I want to talk about Jay-Z and why you we can end this one with him. What would be the Benny Siegel of him? Like, what's his thing? What's his chain?
Okay, well, like when you look at Jay-Z, you say, okay, look at it from Beyonce's standpoint. You see what I'm saying? Or like you know, on the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would look at Jay-Z, if you was approaching somebody like Beanie C or Beyonce, somebody who's going to do business or even getting a quote-unquote relationship with Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? You approaching it from a fucked up standpoint already because you're dealing with it from a public image. You see what I'm saying? So, like, the stage is already set for, like, you dealing with Jay-Z when this is really Sean Carter. So, like, it's already image. You come into it just like how Dorothy and them came at the Wizard. You come in there and you approaching him. You approaching the image. You ain't approaching the nigga behind the curtain. You see what I'm saying? The nigga behind the curtain. Damn. So for you to have a lot of thinking, you looking at Jay-Z and not Sean Carter. Right, but right. So what Beyonce sees, she says, okay, like we on stage, we in front of the world. And this nigga still dipping off, you know what I'm saying, fucking other broad and shit. You see what I'm saying? What's her name? Rachel Ray. You know what I'm saying? So well, what's Beyonce, Herb? Beyonce, she a Virgo. Now, so this is Rock and Michelle all over again. Say what? This is a Rock and Michelle shit all over again is what you're saying. In a sense, yeah, but like it's something with Virgos and Sagittarius, and I don't know what that is, but you know what I'm saying? Jay is Sagittarius, you know what I'm saying, and she a Virgo, but you know what I'm saying? She coming and looking like, you know what I'm saying, it's the real shit, but like, you know what I'm saying, you see that you was let down. That's a lot of times you dealing with a nigga who's you actually like, see it. You actually see this shit. Yeah, you don't see no fun, but then later on you be like, damn, like this is some bullshit with all the image. It was all of a side, it was all the image. Like when eventually she meets Sean type shit. You see what I'm saying? Eventually she meets Sean. And that's when the problems start. That's when the bullshit starts. Okay, like damn, niggas, Sean? That's what she gonna walk in and say, Sean, that's you? Yeah. Yeah. Niggas said, okay, so we gonna go to the next. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna you might want to let the people in the chat room know that we live on the Facebook page because you know what I'm saying, they can follow the imagery. There's a lot of people in the chat room. I just want to let them know that if you go to the Godspeed page on Facebook right now, if you're in the chat room, I'm gonna share that link. Right, I'm gonna share it in there. They could follow the imagery online. So that's the link. I'm just more your expertise. Okay. So far so good, Elaine, like you say. So we'll keep going. And I'll continue reading. I was just trying to share the information a little bit more. We're gonna start with the water. I can read the water. I'll read it. What you mean you can read the water? You gotta take this. You take it by your pleasure. This is your pleasure, or this is? No, I was gonna read the link. I'm gonna read the link. I just fucking with you, man. You said I'm taking the water real quick. No, I knew you wanted it, and you said I'm gonna take the water. No, you said you was posting some links, and so I was gonna let you read it. Go ahead. Let me. It was an inside joke. Go ahead, though. Read it. All right. You know how you I'm gonna have you break it down, though. I'm just gonna read it, but I'm gonna have you break it down. Okay. All right, water. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, the dreamers, those who produce the fairy tale, locked in the land of fantasy and emotional waves. They are those who walk around in swimming pools. Their egos are easily manipulated by all other signs. Those who are masters of emotional blackmail, those who are monitors of their own domain, those who are manipulated by the position of the moon. It is easy for them to immerse themselves into whatever concentrated thought is being dictated by the mainstreamers. Those who are most susceptible to the MC squared equals E lit, as well as the I ain't said shit lit. The lovers of dreams and fantasies. That's the water. Okay, so you want to take it to where we going with it? Talk to me. Well, that was a lot dead in there, man. That's like shit. Come on. Well, the water chain, we got Tinkerbell. Right. You know Tinkerbell? Yeah. You know this. Why don't you break that down while I try to find the link for the Tinkerbell? Okay, I got you. I can do it if you want me to, but you should try to find a link for the Tinkerbell, but I'm trying to bring up this video at the same time. Don't worry, but I take it from there. So kind of like you said, America is a water sign, right? It's birth of America was on what? 4th of July. That's on water, right? Right. So what's the general idea of America then? I got more to use, therefore I rule you. Is it the 50 Cent effect or where I go? But like a bully. Am I right? Yeah, a bully. Okay, America bully. kind of childish compared to the rest of the earth. You know, they birthday on July the 4th, which is a
only a bully because it's childish in nature. Like they're kind of make you, they kind of give off a spirit like they don't like you, but you like with them, be with me. You can just like holding them motherfucking hand and trying to run away at the same time. Shit is weird. Shit like a rubber band. You stretch them motherfucking pop back. Yeah, but that's they also can get you in places. So they the masters of the emotion. You know what I'm saying? They know how to emotionally talk to you. Talk to the emotion. A lot of people are ruled by their emotions. They go for a nature that what they say, and I am brought the belly close nature. And they can master that. But I don't know, Black, you want to add on? I'm trying to find a Tinkerbell.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this link right now. Basically, the story of Tinkerbell was she was a
let's break it down a little bit.
She was a fairy. I'm trying to bring the video.
I got it. Want me to give it to you?
Well, I got a video going. You know what I'm saying? Tinkerbell was basically a fairy who we used to follow Peter Pan around. You know what I'm saying? And she was they came from a fairy tale world. You know what I'm saying? But what happened one day, Peter met a girl named. Well, hold on, I gotta turn this down. I didn't even realize it was playing.
What I'm gonna do before you do, I'm gonna want me to read it for you real quick, the first channel, then you go into it.
What, Tinkerbell?
Yeah, channel 4. I'm gonna read it for you real quick so they can understand what they're seeing.
Yeah, hold on, I had to turn that music down. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Tinkerbell avatar, the negative avatar of the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Chamber 3, full of emotional blackmail, manipulation, jealousy, guilt, sympathy, and martyrdom. You know, I died for you, it really ain't. It really, you know, you the one who wound up dead. Tinkerbell avatar manipulates, escape from reality in order to have her or his feelings validated or reassured. And I'm gonna read the 4th one, then we can go into the video. 4th chamber. Tinkerbell is
talk and try to get answers for unbelievably high.
Is that me? Is that Smith? Is that Bully?
It depends.
I think that's Bully.
Answers trying to understand how their bills could be high, especially in cases.
That's your boy.
This nigga had it. Anyway, you know, he liked to kick it. Tinker, by the way, that's a shadow walker, y'all. That's Orion's belt entity, you know what I'm saying? And he just some type of way, every time we do a show, he pop up like that. Like he talking to somebody else. So he just paid no attention. Tinkerbell is controlled by her love for Peter Pan. She come and try to look at this as your relationship if you're in these situations. Try to see if this is single. Just substitute Peter Pan for him and Tinkerbell for her, right? It's a symbol. She comes from a world of feelings, imaginations, and fairy tales, reality shows. This is an image of water not being in touch with reality shows. She betrays Peter Pan by helping Captain Hook, that vice lord ass nigga, kidnap Wendy to have her killed. This is an image of water using emotional blackmail and emotional manipulation to have her feelings validated and reassured. She has her feelings validated, but she loses out on the one she loves the most, which is Peter Pan.
Okay, so basically what it's saying is that, like, she's controlled by her love for Peter Pan, but, you know, in an emotional world where emotions take over, you know what I'm saying, when she see Peter Pan kicking it with Wendy, it make her go to the other side. Okay, well, fuck it, he gonna fuck with her, I'm gonna go fuck with these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? So they turn their back on their loved one, you know what I'm saying, to get their feelings validated, you know what I'm saying?
Going against the grain? Is that the shit 50 Cent be on?
Like 50 Cent. Yeah, like 50 Cent, you know, putting up a bunch of tapes, rapping and shit. A bunch of people, you know what I'm saying? But they tried to kill his ass. But, you know what I'm saying? When you look at it, you see he was really, you know what I'm saying? He became a star and made it look like he was the underdog. You know what I'm saying? He used that energy to make it like he was the underdog, you know what I'm saying? But really, he was a motherfucking rat, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, you know, I got your little present in there. So then, okay, what car would that be under though, G? What that do? Like, what car would we look at if we want to bring up under the Terror Act? What is it, the 2 or what? Let's do that comparing off.
Well, you gotta look at all right. That would be first. You look at if you're gonna look at that cards. Yeah, you gotta go to the Two of Cups.
Okay.
Two of Cups is really like they pairing off. Like you know what I'm saying, it's easy for a water sign to pair off. Like you know what I'm saying, and not necessarily just pair off, but when they see you, like if they see their spouse walking around with somebody who, you know what I'm saying, is like a opposite sex, like if there's a female water sign, they see a man talking to a chick. You know what I'm saying, like mind you know what I'm saying, they don't know, they just pull up and see you sitting there.
You're talking about regardless if this is actually happening or not, they're going to see it in that way. And then
they're going to see it like you and her paired off. Like, she going to see it like, okay, so who is that woman talking to my man type shit. Like,
so they just going to get an attitude, a little sneaky attitude for no reason. That shit sounds crazy.
That's what she going to start fucking with her. She going to go do some dark shit right then. You know what I'm saying? That's what you see Tinkerbell go fuck with her right there. You know what I'm saying? That's their chamber right there. That's their chamber.
So he was under the water right there.
That kind of stuck right there.
Damn, okay.
All right, okay, here's Two of Cups. Is this Two of Cups right here? Let's see.
Yeah, you got Two of Cups. Put Two of Cups
right.
in that spirit card.
Right, okay.
I can understand that a little bit better. That's a problem. I think that's why it's a lot of domestic violence, ain't it?
Yeah, well.
Shit, nigga. Explain this card to me. I can't let me see. Yeah, explain this card.
The first card, it's the second card that's a rope. So everybody else, you got like Two of Cups is water. So like you got Two of Wands, which would be like fire. You got Two of whatever, you know what I'm saying? But basically, when you go look at the other cards, you know what I'm saying, like the Pentacles, right? The Pentacles represent the earth. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the Two of Pentacles, or you look at the Two of Swords, which is the air, or you look at the Two of Wands, which is the fire, all of them only got one character in their card. You know what I'm saying? The water sign motherfucker is the only motherfucker who in the two got two people in the car.
That's the only sign. So
they say off rip type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this the beginning, so this only the two. We only in the second scene of the movie. They already trying to pay off type shit. So this is what you see Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, she pairing off. You know what I'm saying? So like this movie ain't gonna go right unless they pair off type shit. They gotta be with somebody.
They gotta be with somebody.
But at the same time, they're gonna fuck it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? That whole urge right there to get with somebody and be with, you know what I'm saying? They gotta go through the ups and downs of that shit right there. That's where they're gonna be stuck at.
Damn, that's gonna take shit. That could take a while.
Right, they want their emotions validated. They want that water. They want to see. They want to hear, man, everything's gonna be okay, babe. I love you. Everything's gonna be okay. Just me and you. You know, they need to hear that shit.
And you gotta keep saying that shit all day, every day. Like
they're gonna keep resetting their ass. So the shadow walkers gonna do all they're gonna do is step in and say, okay, this is the way to just keep resetting this motherfucker. Just, you know what I'm saying? You gotta keep coming out and giving them that emotional reassurance.
Man, that shit draining though. That shit can drain you, and anything drain that shit, man. How you do that? That's damn.
Well, that's like a child. They kind of like children a little bit. You gotta kind of like expect them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tell your kid to make up his bed and, you know what I'm saying, clean up his room. Do you expect it 100% of the time? It's like you take a chance, maybe like 60-40, like 70-30. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how you got to look at water signs like children a little bit. Like, you got to kind of talk to them like children. You got to kind of approach them like children. You got to kind of love them like children. You can't expect
telling me
accountability. You can't really expect accountability and stuff like that.
So you telling me, I got something for you though, but you telling me that, so just because they got a job don't make them grown. That's what you're saying, because that's the only difference is that these motherfuckers got a job. And
right, but for the most part,
oh, hell no, you a fool. Damn, so is that the mentality of America? That's the mentality of America then. We still in the what's the name David Banner said, Black America is the child of America.
That's the cancer. That's what you look at cancer. That's why you see a lot of times cancer is always around children, like, or they work with children, or like.
You talking about that attitude when they got all the candy and they outside, and you ever had them kids when you growing up who had all that candy and just got a joy out of not giving you none? That's that That's the water nature, ain't it?
Yeah, it's kind of emotional.
Like,
so you look at it, go back when you was a kid and your teacher give you some candy. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, remind you, or like, you know what I'm saying? If it's 5 kids standing there and it's only one piece of candy, and then that one kid will get it, type shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got one type of kid who's like, okay, I'm gonna share with everybody. You got that kid like, man, no, yeah, it's mine, like that. You know what I'm saying? But what you really looking at is like the emotional nature, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they gonna walk out of that. They gonna walk out showing it off, is what you saying, making it worse. So like,
it's the body. The body naturally kind of leans towards that emotional shit. Like, it kind of leans towards arts, you know what I'm saying? Like that, man, I got the candy, you didn't. Like, but some people back that still to that is going to say, man, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, like, you know what I'm saying? When
that's
you a child, when you want
it,
when you a child, that shit ain't going to, that feelings ain't going to kick in. It's going to make you just act automatically from that emotional nature. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're kind of dealing with.
Okay, so there's a lot of that going on, and that could be training. I think that leads to a lot of that's like Mr. and Color Purple. Like, that's a perfect
example. That's a Pisces nigga. Like, you look at Mr. and Color Purple, that's like a Pisces type nigga type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Plus, he was a bootlegging ass nigga to the other nigga, but he was trying to find the family chick and all that other shit. Like, he was, you know what I'm saying? He was really like a boy. Like, he was like an old ass nigga, but he was a boy type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time.
That's why his daddy came in and was talking to him like that. He was still calling him a boy, and it looked crazy because you like, how is this old man talking to him like a little boy? There's a lot of symbolism right before our eyes. We don't even see it.
When you look at the church, kind of the same thing. It's like, it's no accountability. It's just all an emotional, you know, show and tell, you know, just that people dress up and, you know, look cute, but then they go home and do the same shit. That's kind of how I like, you look at, in the Bible, Exodus 30-11.
Yes, it do.
You know what I'm saying? When God told Moses, you know what I'm saying, they was about to kill all of the people who came over from Egypt, you know, and they started worshiping the golden calf, was because, you know, they was water, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how water people is, like, you know what I'm saying? And the only reason they didn't kill all of them people, God was about to kill all them people for worshiping the golden calf, and the only reason he did was Moses said, man, if you do that, it's going to make the Egyptians look right. You know what I'm saying? That's Exodus 30-11. So God was like, right, okay, so they didn't kill him. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, you know what I'm saying, if you look at the church, that's kind of, it's showing you kind of the church is like the church, like people worship the golden calf, like they go to church on Sunday, but then they go right back into the world and do, you know, stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a lot of people. It's like, you know what I'm saying, they'll tell you one thing, but then they'll go kind of worship the golden calf. You know what I'm saying?
That's some kind of, that shit give you a headache. I'm saying that shit like, man, damn. Okay, well, anything else you want to add on before we go into the?
Yeah, the thing that a lot of times people got to know that more than anything, man, is that like to get to work on their foundation, because the foundation is really what's critical when you deal when you're dealing with all that water. Should be saying people lose their house, or not if they lose their house, but like they don't even get a crib, or they might, you know what I'm saying, like they don't get no real growth because they stuck in that emotional world. Like emotions take over. They don't just take over, they take over. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, they can't.
Like they become portals for that spiritual world, for them emotions just to kick in. You know what I'm saying? They open for that shit. They open for it. They set themselves up with desperation usually. You know what I'm saying? Desperation, confusing, chaos, confusion, desperation, and distraction, especially desperation.
Because when you're in desperation, that's when your heart rate goes up and you start going to the animalistic thinking. You know what I'm saying? You can't think straight.
There's somebody trying to gratify and satisfy emotion. You know what I'm saying? So when you got your own shit, you got your own, you know what I'm saying, your own foundation straight, you got your own car, your own crib, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you can choose wisely. You know what I'm saying? You're not in a state of desperation. You ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying, keep being out here fucking, you know what I'm saying, doing stupid shit, trying to appease people that don't give a shit about you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Work on your shit, get your shit straight. The problem with a lot of times is that like they can't separate that. Like that's what they get stuck at, because they look at that like they being fucked up. So they can't separate, you know what I'm saying, them empowering themselves while being fucked up. That's why a lot of times they set the stage. It's like in relationships, they look at their partner like the bad guy before they actually go start doing they supposed to be doing. You feel like that's when they're getting to argue, like a water sign chick, they'll get into it with their man, break up with them, and then lose like 20, 30 pounds. So meanwhile, through the whole relationship, like the nigga be trying to, man, why don't you lose weight? Why don't you know, do shit like that? And they be like, nah, like, no. But then they break up, and then like they'll start dressing fine, they'll start wearing makeup, they'll start looking super sexy, and start dressing up sexy. For the next nigga that come along type shit. You know what I'm saying? So like they won't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't do like empowering shit, and it's like a struggle that, and that's what they need to work on. You know what I'm saying? They naturally love people. They naturally want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? But that could be a problem if you ain't got no foundation, especially foundation in the inner self, if you ain't done the inner work. So like water signs need to find, like they need to respect screws, they need to respect the earth, like they need to respect their house, respect their car, respect their mate. You know what I'm saying? Respect independence. You know what I'm saying? And do the internal work to build a more solid foundation for themselves.
Shit, that's a lot to go into. So if they lacking all that, you got a problem. You got a very serious problem.
Well, yeah, they come from a fairy tale world.
Shit, how do you deal with something? I got something for you. How you deal with a fairy tale? Like, the hell you deal with a fairy tale world, man?
Shit, I tell you like this. You know what I'm saying? Everything we saying right now, you know what I'm saying? A water sign still more likely to believe that Jesus walked on earth, died, resurrected from the grave. This shit is totally impossible. You see what I'm saying? But like they more likely to believe that than to believe anything that we just said tonight.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, think about it. What I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like they believe that Jesus, all that shit that happened in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, it may be real or not. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of shit is like it kind of makes you question reality. Like, man, hold on, this shit can't be real. But they'll still believe that shit blindly before they believe anything about what we saying tonight. So you can't expect, you know what I'm saying? You can't necessarily expect them to like take what you're saying at face value. You know what I'm saying? It's how do I feel about it?
Still a movie, still running. So you telling me that I go through life?
I don't like what I just heard, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to go off of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not going, you know what I'm saying? They take a wise water sign. It takes like somebody who really grounded, who real wise, who can like not take what we say personal, like we shouldn't personally talking to them, but like who can really understand like the jewels that we're trying to give them, you know what I'm saying? And that's got to be rooted in a foundation, like in their foundation, which is the earth. You see what I'm saying? They got to get their foundation straight.
And once that happens, so that's like the biggest mystery of their life. So that's like the life challenge for most of them. Like, it's, you know, that'd be the goal.
So what?
Their life challenge is to know how to cheat that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the I call the handicap of the law of nature. Is to destroy the foundation of anything or to move with no foundation.
Yeah, they got a lot to work on.
Okay.
Yeah. We can move on to this stuff.
Okay, I got you. All right, where we at? What was I got locked out of that little area. I was in Kingville, but that wasn't it.
Let's go to air.
Yeah,
did we go through the whole thing?
We did water unless you got some more you want to add on.
I mean, MC squared equals E basically means if you can't control your emotions control you.
Right.
If you can't control your belief system control you. If you can't control your feelings control you. That's what MC squared equals E means.
That means external.
Go ahead, what you saying? My bad.
I mean, like external forces control you. You mean tell me like things that happen around you is dictating your movements instead of you dictating the things or your movements or according to things that happen around you, it dictates your movements. Like you have no control over yourself. That's basically what you're saying.
If you can't, yeah, exactly. If you can't control yourself.
Okay, you know? And then I ain't said shit there. What's that?
Type people who sit like, you know what I'm saying, like sneak watching basically.
Sneak watching. Like I know knowledge, but I ain't gonna speak on it.
Basically, like you know what I'm saying, they hear the truth in what we saying, but they're not gonna admit it. Basically.
Well, sound was easy because they wrote the song. Like, poor me boy, because I ain't said shit.
He's an earthside.
Okay, so who I made of the lyrics? Q?
Yeah, I think so.
Sign is Q.
Sign of the L. Q to L.
Oh, well, I don't know where that came from then. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Okay, well, let's do air. Let's start with air then.
You might want to read that. I'm trying to load this other shit.
Okay. All right, here. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Those who expose the rabbit hole, they are least susceptible to the ego. Those who open doors but do not walk through them. Those who are not grounded. The key makers, scientists, engineers, and light workers. The socially imbalanced. The revolution bringers. The unpredictable ones. The free radicals, the independent thought. The masters of the motherfuckers in between. Those who push the others forward too hard. The lovers of thoughts and intellect, the idealists. Okay, that sounds like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, how could I put it? They call trailblazers. And like with Steve Jobs, where Steve Jobs is water. Oh shit, how that happened? That's an anomaly, ain't it? Because he was just a spokesman. He didn't actually do none of that. He didn't understand coding at all. He had a whole set of air signs he was working for, baby. He didn't understand how to make a computer. Okay. All right, before you go into that, what's the terror? What's the best terror to display the nature of the situation? The nine of swords. The nine of swords. Well, let's go. Okay. We should the white rabbit first, really. I mean, we should bring that up. White rabbit. Let's do that. Because White Rabbit is the character from. Wait, are you grabbing it? White Rabbit. Yeah, I get that for you. I got something else for you. I'm gonna do that. I got that for you. White Rabbit is the character. What card you say though? What card? The Nine of Swords. All right. White Rabbit is a character in Alice in Wonderland, who is really symbol of White Rabbit is really air sign. Because if you're dealing with like nervous energy, like you picture a dude running. Hold on, let me get this up here. I'm gonna play the scene from Alice in Wonderland with the White Rabbit. All right. Okay, hold on a second. You see him running. I'm late. He goes down a rabbit hole. So what you're looking at is that's how air sign is. You know what I'm saying? Like they all over the place. They be doing too much. Like you know what I'm saying? They running all over the place. Like it's ideas. It's so many ideas hitting them at the same time. Like that they can't have one thought at a time. You know what I'm saying? They scattered. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh shit, I'm late. It's like, think about when you late, how you be acting. You know what I'm saying? You be scattered. You be all over the place. That shit like anxiety. Because like anxiety attacks. Y'all prone to anxiety attacks. Yeah. They be tweaking. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can't have one thought at a time. It's like, ABCDFG, all at the same time. Like shit. You know what I'm saying? That you say, they say those who open doors but do not walk through them. That's pretty polite. What type of shit is that? Well, when you look at the White Rabbit, he's running, he goes down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? That's how Alice ends up going down the rabbit hole. Was basically he had that door was open for her to go down. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, garden, the door was open. He wasn't going through it with her type shit. Like you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, you see what this is. You know what I'm saying? We're like, so that sounds like something emotionally detached. Exactly. Like, exactly. Symbol for emotionally detachment. Right. It's like a nigga will put a gun on the table and say, all right, here you go. It's up to you now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or who put the sword on the table, like, all right, here you go. You know what I'm saying? You can kill or you can make peace with the sword. You can kill or you can, you know what I'm saying? You can build or destroy, you know what I'm saying, with the gun. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can live by the gun or you can die by the gun. You know what I'm saying? But the choice is yours.
So, but we emotionally attached. Air signs to be emotionally attached to the situation. You know what I'm saying? But we still dealing with that wild ass life and death energy. You see what I'm saying? So
how the fuck does that feel?
The idea is
on a regular basis.
Say what?
How that look on a daily basis? Like if you're at work or you out, you know, you going to the store, you run around with this life of death energy on you, and you supposed to be able to get together.
And like that nigga running around like, man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. We constantly thinking we're gonna die. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see if I can find that scene. It's a scene with Tupac. Let's see why Tupac and
that sounds funny.
Why Tupac is the best rapper. This is why Tupac. I think it's called Why Tupac Has So Many Songs. Because he was on, it was some saying right around. She was like, man, here you go, right here. Here you go. Let's play this.
And what's this time?
He was a Gemini.
Wrong. Right, okay.
I'm gonna play this link right here. And let's take about a 15-second pause. Oh, we got this commercial on. This is some white rabbit shit. Right here. Right. So why is he moving with this wild ass? You know what I'm saying? He all over the place. Why is he moving with all this wild ass energy? Why is he in a rush? Why?
Yeah, everybody else saying relax. And then you got white boys in there.
We gotta get this check. Get the fuck in there. You do this. Why the fuck is he doing that?
Okay. So you just want they just run around feeling like this. So how's that in relationships to just say two niggas got a pack? How would that look? And then one water, one air. Give me an example.
Hold on. Say that again. We fucked it. We had a technical difficulty there for a second. Say that one more time.
It's like in relationship wise, if they standing next to a water sign, and they're in a relationship where they standing next to a fire sign. A fire sign, how would that go? Because I know what air, it nice fire. So how that work?
Air sign kind of talk too much. Like, I'm guilty of that as an air sign totally. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they gonna be trying to tell them motherfuckers. They was like, a lot of times too, like, air signs like to warn motherfuckers and shit. Like, when Ice Cube was warning, like, you look at Ice Cube as a Gemini. You know what I'm saying? We look at Straight Outta Compton, you know what I'm saying? He was the nigga that told all them niggas, like, man, they fucking up the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like, air sign, like, you look at air sign next to a fire sign, that's like Dr. Spock and Captain Kirk. You know what I'm saying? When Spock be breaking shit down, like, man, like, on this planet, you gotta do shit like this, or over here, you gotta do shit like this, and Kirk be running around fucking all the bitches on some wild ass shit, fuck around, start a war on a whole other planet, you know what I'm saying? Doing some goofy shit that the air nigga be then already told his ass about, like, man, I tried to tell your goofy ass don't do the exact shit you just did. You know what I'm saying? So now we gotta fucking, you know what I'm saying, try to get out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, a lot of times,
so the air gonna,
like that.
He gonna make the plan happen. Like, he gonna be like in Paid in Full. He gonna know what to do with the money. The other niggas gonna take pride in kicking it.
If he a wise air sign, if he wise, because a lot of air signs, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, like, they get caught up in the hype, like, they get caught up in the moment, like, they don't say shit, like, they be passive, like, sometimes air signs be too passive. You know what I'm saying? Like, they, you know what I'm saying, they like to just be around, like, they just like to, like, be hanging around and just hearing what the fuck going on and hearing the latest gossip and hearing the latest song and collecting information type shit. You
fucking off. Let's call fucking off.
Fucking off, right? Sometimes they ain't gonna do shit. They just be sitting there type shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like E.
But you got something in the chat room, yeah, because I know you mentioned Ice Cube. Yeah, that was interesting. He used to do a lot of war music, like the Killer. What about Ice-T?
Ice-T, he Aquarius. That's straight, yeah.
Build on that wax. Give me that wax. Because I see like,
I met that nigga once, Joe. I met that nigga. That nigga hit me with a fatality, Joe. I met that nigga once.
Hit you with a fatality?
Yeah. That nigga, we was in a motherfucking, hold on, who the fuck is this? It's Cube.
Yeah, that's Cube.
Yeah, Cube or Gemini. You know what I'm saying? He was a nigga that tried to warn, I'm gonna get to Ice-T. But I just want to hear Cube tried to warn. Cube, like, you see that No Vaseline? Little Cube put out No Vaseline?
Yeah.
That was a brutality shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Pac put out Machiavelli and shit like this and all them niggas and shit, like, that's that ass shit. But like Kanye West, he a Gemini, same shit, like how he be talking round as Donald Trump, he a Gemini, he an air sign. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all reckless with it.
That's what you're looking at when you're looking at the election, Joe. Like, that's the election. What you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? But Ice-T.
Well, it's crazy. Hold on, because you said we in the age of Aquarius, so that's kind of crazy. That's what talk to me. We got two air presidents running for president, and then we in the age of Aquarius. What is that about? What's this?
A lot of information. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be information overload type shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we see now.
That's what you see now, and that's what it's like. Damn, like you don't even know what choice to make. Same shit when you're on Facebook, like you be. Oh, damn, what the fuck happened here?
Okay, so if it's information overload, so you don't know the choices to make. I heard something about the cup. Go ahead.
I didn't even cut you. Hold that thought, because like I see you throwing these in, and I'm trying to. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Though, like this ain't as easy as you thought. Like
I know.
Like I'm trying.
No, it's just random. You play with them randomly. It's decent. I'm just, taking what you saying. Just always look down and see.
I was in. Shit, man. I was in Rhode Island, man. I was at a bar, and Ice-T was in there. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was doing the show. And like I was starstruck. I was starstruck. I was like, there, they were Ice-T, Joe. Like, you know what I'm saying? OG, original gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I walked up and my at the time I was making beats. I was like, man, I make beats, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? What that do with my beats? I said. He was like, he said, find you a couple local niggas and let them knock off your beats. He's like, do it for free, but just make sure they cold as hell. And that nigga walked off on me. Because I was really basically asking that nigga, like, man, do you want to check out some of my beats? But, like, that nigga was trying to hear that shit. That nigga walked off. Like, he was ass. You know what I'm saying? He was separated from the body mostly. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn. So, like, I walked up on him again that I was going to share our asses. That nigga, he went right up, he put his hand right up in my face. He said, back off, nigga. And then walked off again. I was like, damn. And I was like, shit, like, that nigga, he ain't gonna fuck, that nigga coming over with this shit, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, like, and I looked up later, I realized that nigga was Aquarius, and I kind of understood, like, it wasn't personal what he did, he was just like, man, nah,
nigga. It's in his nature.
It's just in his nature type shit. It was like, nah, nigga.
But what about the cup era? What's the cup era? I know this is, they mean the cup era, and then they came out with the pimp cups, and it's in the chat room. What's that? Like, the Don Juan, is he a air sign or no?
Don Juan, I don't know. That nigga, I don't know.
Let me check him, but the cup era. Explain that to me.
That's the water sign. That's water
cup era. The cup bearer is Aquarius.
Oh, you mean the water bearer?
Yeah, the water bearer. What they're using as Ganymedes, the pimp cup. That's the representation. So you see stupid people ever raising the pimp cup, meaning they bowing down to that energy. And Thug is a perfect example. He going all the way with it. He trying to get paid. Who? Young Thug. Prince, under the Prince Act. You know, Purple Rain.
Oh, let me put this up in.
But you talk to me, the Ganymedes. You familiar with Ganymedes?
Nah, hold on. Like I see, like the last time I told you, man, shit you be saying be like saying it take a while for this shit to sink in. A lot of times I got the cup, like I got the pimp cup. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucking the water bearer is, you know what I'm saying, the difference between water and a water bearer. That's why they symbolize cups as the water. You know what I'm saying? We living in the age of Aquarius, which is the water bearer, which is the person who can hold the most amount of information. You know what I'm saying? That's the pimp cup. You know what I'm saying? How much, you know what I'm saying? The water bearer is you got water, you got the water bearer. You know what I'm saying? I got water, but I'm not attached to the water. You know what I'm saying? I'm the water bearer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the...
You can control the water.
Right.
You controlling the water because you got it in a cup and it's in your hand.
Exactly. That's the Aquarius. When you look at the symbol of Aquarius, that's exactly what you see as a dude pouring out water. Which also...
So what you looking at Don Juan holding the cup, man, and he got holding the females in the palm of his hands because in the cup is water, and water is emotions.
It's the world, really. You know, the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, water is really the world, man. Most of the people on the planet is water signs. You see what I'm saying? But they don't understand their own nature. They don't understand their own nature. You see what I'm saying? It's like a child. You see what I'm saying? The water bearer understands the nature of water. You see what I'm saying? So he outside the emotion, looking at it like a movie. You see what I'm saying? He can see this whole movie. He can see.
So he can analyze a little bit better.
The water sign stuck in his own movie. Like we sitting there looking at a motherfucker stuck in his own movie.
So it's like Dr. Spock.
You're right, exactly. Like Spock. He's sitting there looking at
Data. Like Data. Like Data on. Oh. Damn, how does that feel to be just thinking like Data? You is emotionally detached. You kind of, it's cool because you don't get manipulated into the emotional shot and all that because you ain't opening no doors. But for the most part, you don't know when to manipulate somebody else for the most part, right? Or you just say shit out of pocket but don't mean it because you don't know it's out of pocket because it's talking to this person's emotion and you're not thinking from an emotional point.
Like with the movies, yo, they be talking to your movie. They like, okay, nigga, you gonna put me as a character in your movie. I see the irony that you can't see. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say some wild ass shit in this movie. You see what I'm saying? To get you parallel to understand, like, nigga, I'm in this movie. They put on wild ass songs, like they know exactly, like a hairstyle know exactly what song to put on. That's why they make good DJs and shit like that, because they see the irony, like they see the movie. You know what I'm saying? So they be like a good soundtrack, or like that's why Ice Cube make good movies and shit. You see what I'm saying? Because we see the water, we holding it. You know what I'm saying? We holding it like
emotion, capture the emotion. Yeah, right. The movie capture the emotion.
Right. That's the pimp cup. That's the nigga that's in there on the water.
So under that's the pimp, because that's a pimp nature. The pimp is one who able to engage in a situation but not become emotionally attached. Therefore, you control the situation, right? Because
exactly.
Like that. I tell her fall in love last. Yeah, fall in love last. That way, when they fall in love, while they in love, you're not in love. You pretty much control the situation. Then you fall in love last. You know what I'm saying? Not
that's the water bear. That's the water bear.
Okay, I got you.
Let's do the earth.
Let's do the earth. Okay, is the earth in this motherfucker? Okay, I got you. Hold on,
let me bring it back up.
I got you. Yes, in here. Earth, Virgos, Taurus, Capricorns, those who are natural critics, the humanitarians, the perfectionists, the flesh lovers, the collector of tangible items, the teachers of survival, the human workers, the people, the originators of the natural survival, the lovers of people, the masters of the kitchen, those who will make the sacrifice, the selfish hand that rocks the cradle, the detail. Okay. So, let's
kick it off with Scrooge.
Okay, let's go with Scrooge. Okay, I'm a fan. Scrooge for you. Scrooge. Chris Lightly, you get into that.
Chris Lightly was a Taurus. He was an earth sign.
Okay.
Let's see what Scrooge. Let's see.
It's detailed. So a lot of the Hispanics who be wiping the cars, the detailed cars, they be earth signs. The Vatos that be wiping on cars.
Could be.
What you say? I detail your shit. When your birthday? That's how I'm gonna start telling motherfuckers. I'm gonna be like, Joe, what's your sign? Earth. I want you to detail my car. Good look, B. Good look, because I think a lot of these water signs be detailing my car and fire signs because they too preoccupied with probably when they get off. You leaving all type of motherfucking shit still on my shit. I'm going to ask these motherfuckers next time I go in, what's your sign before they wipe on my goddamn car. Well, it's good to know this shit, because if you don't know this shit, you don't know what you're dealing with. You fall into the whirlwind of the same shit or different same shit all the time. People think it's planned, it's Zodiac and a joke, and it's more deeper than that. We can take it all the way back to the middle next, but we just gonna keep it on the surface.
Let's play this video. Real quick. Hold on, let's see. Get this down. Let's get this up. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's start it off. All right, here we go.
Okay. So.
Okay, let me pause that. Let me bring this back up. Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you something. So what would that have to do with the Pharaoh in the Bible? Was this the Scrooge era, the earth chamber? This what these little Muppets sound like they're talking about. If you look at it metaphorically, it sound like they're talking about the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
But how do that relate? Because just like my chamber, so I got sorry, what does that mean, nigga? Because I know Muslims, so Islam would be of a earth nature based religion, right? So they cut your head off if you don't get it right. They ain't playing no games. They know, we take you back. They know we can do it again. Just don't do it again. It's not gonna cut chop your head off. Like, we getting straight to the point, huh?
We're not. It's like, you mean like ISIS?
But there is like because Christianity is a water religion. We can just for accountability. You keep doing it, we take you back. But over there, under the predominantly the supreme Islam state, they cut your head off if you ain't bowing down. They got Islamic. They got religious police. They don't even got police. They got religious police. Of course, who run around and run up on you like, Joe, you can't be looking at a booty and give you 5 lashes or a ticket. Shit, ruthless. I be like, shit, talk to me. What's the earth saying? Well, we got Scrooge. What's the Scrooge like?
Well, you look at Scrooge, you look at, like you say, you go like the Pharaoh. Pharaoh, they say he had a hardened heart.
Okay, I'm going to get some Pharaoh.
The Pharaoh had a hardened heart. So, somebody got a hardened heart, you know what I'm saying? They say he basically ruled with an iron fist. So, this is somebody who got the whole land of Egypt, you know what I'm saying, taken away from him by, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh, by God, who and who in turn turned around and took his whole, you know what I'm saying, they wanted to kill. I mean, God wanted to kill the people who was worshiping the golden calf because, they just took him out of Egypt. They just killed the Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying?
And then when okay, hold on. And I want to get to a problem. This is a chamber that I experienced in my realm. So what you saying is the Pharaoh under the act like, no, and then y'all ain't going nowhere. I already know y'all mad state. Y'all out here tripping. And if I let y'all go, y'all just gonna go crazy. So the Pharaoh like, no, nigga, you bogus. Get out of here. No, all the world against the Pharaoh. They leave. Then they go do the exact same thing the Pharaohs knew they was gonna do, is worship a golden cow. That's my chamber. So was the Pharaoh right? I mean, he was right?
In a sense, yeah, but you know
what do you mean? In a sense. He just said I ain't want to let them go because they're going to do some dumb shit. And then they went out there to do the dumb shit, pissed God off. He's about to kill them. So, you mean in a sense?
In my chamber. You can look at Pharaoh as earth. You know what I'm saying? You can look at Moses and them as water. You know what I'm saying? The Pharaoh didn't want to say he had a hardened heart. You know what I'm saying? But they tell you that, but he had a hardened heart because they don't tell you that he was right, though. You know what I'm saying? So, there's somebody who, you know what I'm saying, who moving through life like that, kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you're right, but you know what I'm saying? You still living in a water world. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna come off
patient. You gotta have more patience. So right. We need more patience.
You gonna look like fools. You gonna look like Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? And then you gonna lose everything you got. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because ain't no water. You know what I'm saying? The foundation cracked when there ain't no water. You know what I'm saying?
So like the desert, dry and barren, as they say.
Right.
What would be a card? What would be a card for the earth sign or earth chamber?
The five of pentacles. The five of pentacles. You know what I'm saying? That's the five is ruled by the hellfire, which you really question and answers. You know what I'm saying? Question and answer session. You know what I'm saying? Why am I here? I'm saying, well, who is God? Is God real? Stuff like that. When you go see the Pope, when you talk to the preacher, stuff like when you start asking like big questions. I'm saying that's the hellfire. You know what I'm saying? But when you go into that chamber